Well, they got insulted. The door wasn't open to them. Everyone across the world is now going to say that India's opposition leaders went begging to a group of unelected and unelectable leaders who are openly pro-Pakistan. And yet they came out like fanboys saying, oh, but they are nice people. So what if they didn't open the door to us? They are still nice people. I mean, it's remarkable the extent to which these opposition leaders can go to stake the reputation of the Republic of India, knowing fully well that these are people who have never accepted the same republic. Let's debate tonight with Sambit, Patra, Sushil, Pandit and Sushant, Sareen on the one side, and Ajay, Alok of the JDU, Nasir, Aslam, Wani of the National Conference, he's their provincial president in Kashmir, Sudheendra, Kulkarni, columnist and author, Navaid, Hamid, president of the All India Muslim Majlis-e-Mushawarat, and Fuad, Halim of the CPIM tonight. He's joining us in some time. I mean, it's remarkable, remarkable. Ajay, Alok, I don't know what to say. Your leader Sharad Yadav stakes the pride of the Republic of India, knowing fully well. Let me complete my point and then you can argue as much as you want to. You're rebuffed by the...
You are remarkable today.
Allow me to complete.
You are remarkable today.
Thank you.
In your opening statement, you are remarkable today. That you are defending the government like a BJP spokesperson. You are
Mr. Ajay Alok, Mr. Ajay Alok, Mr. Ajay Alok.
Why did you raise this question yesterday when your channel was running?
Mr. Ajay Alok, I am dead clear about one issue. I am dead clear about one issue. Mr.
Why you didn't came yesterday, Mr. Goswami?
Mr.
Today you are here to
Ajay Alok, you know what you've done. What you've done. Allow me to give you my point of view and then you can respond as much as you want to, Ajay Alok, and let me make my point to you. You can respond as much as you want to. The fact is, come on, let me complete my point. Fact is out here. My position is absolutely clear. That whether it is the government of India, 1 minute, my point is absolutely clear whether it's the government or the opposition, and let me use the opportunity to reiterate it tonight. And you are wrong and you must listen to why you are wrong, and after that you can understand whether you want to defend the position taken by your leaders. Now Ajay Alok, listen to me. Ajay Alok, be reasonable and listen to me, and let's realize, right? Let's be clear about it. Don't look for a diversionary tactic. Don't look for a diversionary tactic. Now let's come back to the subject. I'll tell you my view. I'll tell you my view. You have the patience to listen. After that, we will take this debate further much more than you want. Now let me take this debate further. My position is clear. This Hurriyat are pro-Pak.
Your position is not clear. You are dubious.
Hello.
You are dubious.
Right, fine.
You are forgetting the national
Ajay Alok, listen now. Ajay Alok, listen. Now let me make my point. After that, you make whatever accusations that you want to. No, Ajay Alok, listen. Even if you are a bit on the back foot,
when they were writing on Times Now, that what was there in the agenda of
Ajay Alok, listen. Ajay Alok, listen. Mr. Ajay Alok, now let me make a point, and if you just stop for a while, in 1 minute, I will pulverize your entire argument. Just wait a minute. Point number one. When the BJP did the tie-up with a party called the PDP and a person called Mufti Muhammad Saeed, who began his political career in the center at a very high level 22 years back when he became the Home Minister of India and then became Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. We called him a pro-Pak Chief Minister on the day he was elected and did a press conference when he appeared to thank the Hurriyat for not creating trouble. He was thanking them. At that point of time, the BJP was in power, the BJP was in a tie-up with the PDP, and we called them a pro-Pak Chief Minister. So Ajay Alok, it doesn't matter to us. My position is the Hurriyat are a bunch of Pakistani stooges. You can't deal with them. You can't deal with them. The center can't deal with them. Nobody can deal with them. They are not the people who represent the Kashmiri voice. They are not the people who have any legitimacy. They have never fought an election, and hence, whether it is the BJP, whether it is the government, whether it is the JDU, whether it is the CPM, whether it is the Aam Aadmi Party, or whether it is any political party that deals, or any group of people that gives legitimacy to the Hurriyat is fundamentally wrong. Nobody can. Nobody can. We will question them. We will question them all the way. We will question them all the way. Because these are people, my problem is with the Hurriyat and anyone who gives them legitimacy.
Please tell me, Arnab Goswami, what was there on the agenda of
now let me make one point. No, one point. I'll tell you. If you listen, Ajay,
When the word
Ajay,
Hurriyat
listen.
was coined,
Ajay,
what
listen.
was there on the agenda
I'll tell you
of
what was there.
And why
Listen,
did
no. You want to
criticize them
repeat
then?
yourself like a broken
And today-
record. Now listen. Now wait.
Today,
Now listen. Now listen here. Listen here. The moment any attempt has been made to engage with the Hurriyat, we have questioned them. The Hurriyat are a bunch of nobodies. You're giving them legitimacy.
You are not letting me freely
You're
speak.
giving them legitimacy. Why are you?
Give me 10 seconds.
No, 1 second.
Give me 10
No,
seconds,
no,
I'll
no, no,
interrupt it.
Ajay,
Please don't shout
Alok.
in
Why are
between.
you giving the Hurriyat
Don't shout in
legitimacy?
between.
Why are you giving the Hurriyat
I am
legitimacy?
not giving Al Hurriyat any legitimacy. The very legitimacy was given to Hurriyat by BJP itself on the agenda of alliance which they signed with PDP. And it was mentioned there. And today in your channel, all PDP leaders were coming and mentioning this, that we have an agenda of alliance where Hurriyat was mentioned and BJP agreed to it. And why, Mr. Arnab Goswami, you were quiet then? I have been saying on your channel repeatedly
I'll tell you.
that Hurriyat is an
Okay, now
PDP.
Now
Why
Ajay, you want a
now?
response?
Then, and today you're shouting.
Ajay, you want a
that
response?
You
want a response?
And we feel disgusted.
Ajay,
and we were begging for a cup of
Ajay, now
tea.
the first 15 minutes went to you. Now you'll have to. Now Ajay, listen.
The government.
Ajay, listen.
You want to save them for an embarrassment.
Ajay, have you finished? Can I just get others in also now? Please just wait a while, and I will just say one thing to you because you're going on. Fine. I heard you.
Today the whole
I'll only say this to you. I will only say this to you, Ajay. Now please be quiet. For 20 years, I have had the same position on Kashmir and the Hurriyat. 20 years back, I thought they were a bunch of nobodies, and I think so now. 20 years back, whether it was the Vajpayee government giving them legitimacy, in my reporting career, I felt that the Vajpayee government giving them legitimacy was wrong. I think even if this government gives them legitimacy, they are wrong. I think if a BJP, PDP government gives them legitimacy, they are wrong. And therefore, my position on this is very clear. You cannot give a bunch of Pakistani stooges so much importance. Now answer my question.
Why did you criticize them?
Now I have criticized them every damn time. Every time I have criticized them. I have called their approach flawed. I have called their approach fundamentally, morally, ethically, politically incorrect. I have maintained the same position. You are the people who keep changing your position. My position on the Hurriyat is absolutely clear. Now Ajay, Alok, remember, you are discussing today.
Why did you criticize BJP then?
Ajay, Alok, you don't get nervous.
To defend the
Ajay, it's
government.
okay. Ajay, it's okay.
No.
Now, Ajay, I defend my country.
This is insane.
And I'd say that in my country, if there are political leaders of any party, BJP, PDP, NC, JDU, CPM, Aam Aadmi Party, any party, if leaders of my party stand outside the door of pro-Pakistani stooges and say, "Bhai, chai pila dijiye." बात तो कर लीजिए. Is there no self-respect?
What BJP and PDP
Now
were
let the
doing?
BJP respond to you. Go ahead. Sambit, Patra, and the debate is open after that.
With
Please.
the
Feel free to
Hurriyat
come
in between the agenda
Sambit.
of alliance.
Ajay, I understand the reason for your anger. I can empathize with you that your leaders have been driven out of the...
No. Sambit is responding now. Go ahead.
Give me 10 seconds if you have courtesy.
No, just
Give
a
me 10
second.
seconds.
I understand your pain.
On time
And
now,
I know
apologize.
you would understand.
Today times now, Siddharth Nasir apologize. That
that is quite evident in the last 15
people of
minutes.
Valley in
Mr.
center and
Ajay,
state.
this is a democratic country. Be tolerant to my views also.
Oh,
Mr.
relax.
Ajay,
Be tolerant to you. You are the sitting biggest. You have been
Well,
seated
can
and
I speak? I heard you for 15 minutes, sir.
And you are asking everyone to
Mr. Ajay Alok. Mr. Ajay Alok, I heard you for 15 minutes. Can you please hear me out? It is not your show.
For you.
Why did you participate in this debate if you could not defend your party? That is your fault, sir, that you cannot defend your party.
Where is my party?
And I can understand your anger because I can understand your anger because Sharad Yadav has been driven out of the home of the Hurriyat leader because he was not offered a cup of tea. I can understand your anger. But please let me make a point. We all have, the country has heard you enough. Let me make a point. Or not. Enough of the JDU spokesperson. I'm just bringing the whole thing into perspective over here. Arnav, I understand that today, when the whole party delegation has gone to Jammu Kashmir, I should be courteous to all these leaders. They are my senior. But as you also said, it is not about my niceties and courtesies. It is about India's image that has suffered a break today across the globe. And why I say so, be it Sharad Yadav, be it Sitaram Yechuri, be it Mr. Raja or be Owaisi, these are elected representatives in the Indian Parliament. They are not small leaders, they are not small fries in Indian politics. They are leaders of standing. And when these leaders go and stand in a begging posture outside the house of separatists What kind of image are we sending across the globe? That look, this is the
you go and form government with separatists. You allow the separatists to grow.
Just a second.
For the last 9 months, you allowed the separatists to grow. What their population was 15% today you allow them to take the state for ransom.
Now you are Hurriyat ke Mama Jaan.
Audacity to say.
No. Chacha Jaan, keep quiet.
You don't have any shameless.
Now you are Hurriyat ke Mama Jaan also.
Sushil Pandit is on the debate, gentlemen, please.
Hurriyat ke Mama Jaan. Control your language. Now that you don't know how to speak also.
Or not, why this issue is
only rhetoric.
Ajay, listen. Ajay, one.
We show to the globe that we allow the separatists to dictate terms.
Who allowed Hurriyat to grow in stature? Answer me. Who allowed Hurriyat to grow in stature? It's PDP and BJP.
Ajay,
why don't you accept it?
When you
and today you're saying go and begging in front of separatists. अरे हम देश बचाने के लिए अपने मुंह पे तमाशा भी खाएंगे. आपका क्या? सत्ता के लिए हाथ मिला दिया सेपरेटिस्ट से. कश्मीर को इस सिचुएशन पे ले आए. ज्ञान दे रहे हैं यहाँ पे.
Mr. Ajay, your leader has been snubbed. Look at the face of Sareen.
Oh, relax, my leader is fired and falsified anymore. Don't talk my leader. Talk about your failures and say you are sorry.
Sareen Yadav was going and
say you are sorry. What Siddharth Singh has said today. What Siddharth Singh has said today on Times Now.
Or not, what has hurt me the most.
People of Raleigh feel cheated with center and the state. And we are sorry for that. And that's why this all-party delegation.
Last time, the separatists offered you a cup of black tea.
आज तक देश में ऐसा नहीं हुआ था.
Discussion with the Prime Minister.
आज तक देश में ऐसा नहीं हुआ था.
चर्चा, चाय पे चर्चा. But they will gaga over the black tea of the separatists. Mr. Ajay Alok, can you please be quiet for a while, sir?
Enough of rhetoric. Something concrete.
It is you.
Say something, otherwise rhetoric won't help today.
Sir, मेरे sir,
the whole party delegation
आप request करिए, हाथ जोड़ के प्रणाम करिए कि आप प्लीज दरवाजा खोल दे. सेपरेटिस्ट मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ.
I tell you, gentlemen, Sushil Pandit is on the debate, and there are four other people. There are four other people. 1 second. First of all, to Sambit, Patra, and Ajay Alok. Please, gentlemen, please understand, it's a serious issue. If this is going to boil down to your bad name calling, we will not be able to debate the issue tonight.
Exactly.
And the issue is important. For God's sake, we understand this. My view, and you may not agree, is that the stalwarts of the Indian opposition being told off by Pakistani stooges hurts me. Top Indian national leaders having the doors closed on them, saying chai bhi nahi pilaye, chale jaiye, by people who have not won one vote in a panchayat election. It hurts the people of this country. These are people who abuse our country. We stand at their door. We give them legitimacy. Sushil Pandit is on the debate, and to everyone else tonight. Navaid, Hamid, Sudheendra, Kulkarni, Nasir, Aslam, Wani, Fuad, Halim. Feel free to come in. Sushil Pandit first. Sushil Pandit.
Arnab, I need to first frame some issues. I think our parliamentary delegation has been delivered some home truths that were extremely important. One truth that has emerged today is that those who have caused the mayhem in Kashmir are not interested in peace. Number two, they are not free to decide for themselves either. Yesterday, there was a warning from United Jihad Council Chairman Salahuddin.
That's right.
Saying that nobody can talk to this delegation and nobody dare even attempt a conversation. So this is a response to that. Third, it has also been proved that they have no respect for Indian institutions and of course the highest sovereign body, Indian Parliament.
That's right.
But the fourth thing is most important and is the clincher, that they have no concern for the consequences of violence continuing in Kashmir Valley and taking a toll of innocents. These are the four important home truths that have been delivered today. But these truths have been delivered at a huge cost. These delegation members were not representing themselves. These were not individuals called Sitaram Yechuri or Sharad Yadav or D. Raja. They were representing the Indian Parliament.
Absolutely, they were.
Parliamentarians can keep, in their individual capacity, trifle with their own reputation. But when they represent Indian Parliament, they ought to think better. Two, what has come out of this interaction is in Kashmir, when separatists kick us hard, we are willing
to bow down.
More.
Absolutely.
And this communication of weakness, this message of complete capitulation, to the extent of utter humiliation, is what is coming out shining. And that is what must sadden everyone.
Absolutely it is. I want to get Sudheendra Kulkarni in, and the point is very simple. The point is, Sudheendra Kulkarni, the symbolism of having a pro-Pakistan stooge shut the door on you. And I'm sure you have no doubts about them being pro-Pakistan stooges, because you are being rebuffed by the people you went out on a limb to meet. They slammed the door on you. Right? These are the same people, Sudheendra Kulkarni, mind you, who have worked against the interest of India, against the fabric of India, against Indian democracy. A valid point being made there that these are people who go out there representing the Indian Parliament. Picturize for yourself, Sudheendra Kulkarni, the Indian Parliament comes outside the door of Syed Ali Shah Gilani, whose only ambition in life is to have a Pakistani flag in Srinagar, and begs him to start talking to them. Syed Ali Shah Gilani has not won one panchayat election so far. Has he, Sushil? Has he ever at any point, Sushant, Sareen, one panchayat election?
He was some 50 years back an MLA, of which he's still taking
so the entire Indian Parliament right now, for the last 4 decades, he's not fought in an election. The entire Indian Parliament comes outside his house and says, Mr. Gilani, talk to us. The Parliament of India is seen to be capitulating to Gilani Yasin Malik, who is a known loyalist of Hafiz Saeed. The Parliament of India stands outside the door of a Hafiz Saeed loyalist and says, Mr. Hafiz Saeed loyalist, please speak to us. Why are we making our own parliament look so desperate? Sudheendra Kulkarni, and then anyone can come in. Sudheendra Kulkarni.
Please don't interrupt me.
Yeah, sure.
Is Hurriyat a spokesman of the Pakistan government?
Yes,
it is.
Yes.
Is Pakistan
of course
a major contributor to the problem in Kashmir?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
At the same time, if we want peace, normalcy, and a final enduring solution to the Kashmir issue, should Indian government talk to all the stakeholders?
All legitimate stakeholders.
Please don't interrupt me.
Or beg.
Please don't interrupt me, and I also request all my co-panelists not to speak in between. Your turn will come. Just 2 days ago, Prime Minister of India gave an interview to another channel, and he said, and these are very important words, one must have the courage to leave those ideas that were relevant in the past years back but are no longer now. One must have the courage to change oneself. And I'm happy that the Prime Minister of India said recently that we must talk to, and we are ready to talk to all the stakeholders. Now, is Hurriyat a stakeholder or not?
Basic premise is those stakeholders who believe in the Constitution of India.
Me. Don't interrupt me,
But Mr. Kulkarni,
this is not the way to conduct a debate.
But those stakeholders who believe in the Constitution of India, that's all.
The Prime Minister has been brought in. I have the right to defend.
Just 1 sec, let him complete his point. 1 sec, calm down. Yeah, 1 second. Let him make his point. Yeah.
Did the former Prime Minister of India...
Let him complete, yeah.
Did the former Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, invite Hurriyat leaders for talks or not? And if Prime Minister Modi now says that I want to follow Vajpayee's path to resolve the Kashmir issue, then I think he is taking the right moves. He is making the right moves. The all-party delegation going to Kashmir is a very good move. And I hope that even though there is, the snub
Sir, you're historically incorrect.
No.
Sir, you are historically incorrect.
See,
I can prove to you that you are historically incorrect.
Indian government will have to resume talks with Pakistan because Pakistan is a stakeholder in the Kashmir issue.
Sir,
Indian government will also have to talk to Hurriyat.
No,
Hurriyat is also a
Sir, with the greatest of respect, I disagree.
Absolutely there can be no compromise to the unity of India. There can be no Pakistani flag officially.
Which is the reason why?
In Kashmir, India's unity is non-negotiable. At the same time, for the sake of peace, for the sake of normalcy, we have to take all necessary measures, and that is what the government is doing.
1 second.
Opposition leaders are doing. I'm happy that
just 1 minute, Sambit, before you come in, I want Sushant, Sareen to come in. 1 second, Sambit, before you come in, Sushant, Sareen can come in. Here is Mr. Kulkarni with his favorite past years back argument with respect to you, sir. My questions to you, you flick the clock back. If you honestly flick the clock back, the fact of the matter is this entire exercise to engage with the anti-India, pro-Pakistan elements has yielded no fruitful results on even one occasion in the past. They have disagreed for talks with the government of India on more than one occasion. I don't understand the olive branch that is extended to them repeatedly. And even as Vajpayee met separatists in 2004.
That is not right. Can I come in?
Sir,
that is not right. Can I come in for a minute?
Sir, let me come. Okay, you want to come into the debate? Go ahead. Provincial President of the National Conference, Nasir Aslam Wani. Go on. Mr. Wani, go on. Sushant, you can come in after that.
This is the fourth all-party delegation that has come to Kashmir. We had an all-party delegation here in 1990, then again in 2008, then 2010, now 2016. These delegations have not been able to create that kind of a credibility here, and there is a huge trust deficit with regard to these delegations. Primarily because there has been no follow-up and no outcome whatsoever. Having said that, people have always met them. People of all shades of...
Sorry, can I interrupt you there? Can I interrupt you there? Can I stop you right there, Mr. Wani? Can I stop you right there, Mr. Wani?
Let me complete.
No, I want to point a contradiction. I want to point a contradiction in what you're saying, Mr. Wani.
No, please.
I want to point a contradiction.
Let me complete, then you can say whatever. Okay, go ahead with your...
My point is simple, sir, simple. How convenient, how utterly convenient you. Can you tell me, Mr. Wani, whether your party was a part of the government in 2010 in Delhi?
Pardon me?
Was the National Conference part of any government in Delhi in 2010, sir?
So, how does that come in?
I'll explain to you. First tell me yes or no. First tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
You were.
Absolutely, yes.
You were.
So?
And one second. So today you say the all-party delegation has no legitimacy. In 2010, Mirwais... Sir, let me complete my point. Sir, let me complete my point. Sir, let me complete my point.
You said nobody has ever met them. I am only saying that as late as even 2010 in that after that turmoil.
Great. So here's the counter.
Came here, same
Mr. Wani, I can take you on.
Delegations met
Mr. Wani,
but there has been no follow-up.
No, Mr. Wani,
no follow-up whatsoever.
Mr. Wani, I will now take you on and Sudheendra Kulkarni on together, and then Sushant Sareen can come in, because I want this matter now settled. Enough of the corruption of historical facts by people like you and Sudheendra Kulkarni. You are corrupting historical facts, mutilating them.
How are you saying that? What is the corruption of corruption?
I can prove myself. You give me 2 minutes.
I'm only telling you that this is the fourth delegation that has come to Kashmir.
Sir, I'll tell you.
There has been a turmoil.
Sir,
there has been no follow-up.
Should we have a debate?
This is the first time that people have not met them.
Sir, should we have a debate?
Sir,
should we have a debate?
That is primarily because...
Sir, I know. Sir, 1 minute. Mr. Wani.
Mr. Wani. The initiative is after
Mr. Wani. Mr. Wani.
And he wanted that dialogue with all stakeholders.
Mr. Wani. Mr. Wani, a minute. Mr. Wani, a minute, please. And I request you to listen to me. I know you are a very senior person. You are Provincial President of the National Conference. And Sudheendra Kulkarni himself is personally vested in this process, having advised the Vajpayee government in the past. Therefore, it is more necessary that I take on both of you tonight, and then we take the debate forward. I'm surprised today, Sudheendra Kulkarni, at your argument about rewinding to the past. If you rewind to the past, you should have seen it coming, and I'll tell you for the following 6 reasons. Reason number 1, listen to me, Mr. Wani, very clearly. Leaders like Mirwais hold talks with people like Bilawal Bhutto, who say take entire Kashmir from India. How can you expect them to indulge in a dialogue with India? 1. 3 days back, because recent history is important, Gilani calls the talks with the all-party delegation nothing but futile and says do not indulge in such photo op politics. How could you not see this deadly denial coming? How then can Ajay Alok's leader Sharad Yadav go there with a begging bowl and say, "Humse baat kijiye"? Third point, if you take the case of 2010, in 2010 too, the likes of Gilani, Yasin Malik, Mirwais officially turned down the offer to come and hold talks with the all-party media, and rather invited them to Gilani's residence, for Gilani considered them guests. There was no need to go out there at the feet of the Hurriyat and leave India red-faced again. Point number 4, this is not the first time that the Hurriyat has refused to talk to political parties in India. It is the second time in 6 years that a refusal has come, which has left the whole country and 1.2 billion people red-faced. And therefore the question arises, what has changed from 2010? I don't know of anything. Point number 4, and I'm glad you're listening, Mr. Wani, because you know that I've destroyed your argument tonight. In 2010 too, Gilani refused to hold any talks with the centre unless Kashmir is declared a disputed area. He said first declare Kashmir a disputed area. How can you trust a man and say 2010 you want Kashmir to be declared a disputed area and now you completely will change your position? Fifth point, meanwhile, in 2010, Mr. Wani, last point, you're losing the debate tonight. Last point, you and Ajay Alok and Sudheendra Kulkarni will lose the debate tonight. So 1 second. In 2010, Mirwais called the all-party meeting a facade and a joke.
You have never been part of a solution. Or unfortunately,
this is now no solution.
You have
okay, open the debate.
Part of a solution. Rather, you are trying.
Fine, sir, you attack me. Okay, debate is open. Sushant, Sareen, Sambit, Patra, Sushil, Pandit. 1 second.
I am the messenger.
Mr. Kulkarni, if you allow me 10 seconds.
Sushant, Sareen first. Sambit, 1 second. Sushant, Sareen is first to want to respond, and then we take it forward. Sushant, Sareen.
You know, Arnab, a couple of things. I think Mr. Kulkarni was very right in quoting the Prime Minister, that the Prime Minister said we need to junk old ideas. But I don't know how he has reached the conclusion that when he says that we want to junk old ideas, he wants to go back to a very bad idea which Prime Minister Vajpayee has. I would imagine that Prime Minister is saying that those old ideas of trying to reach out to Pakistan, making peace with Pakistan, those are completely redundant and we need to rethink this whole thing. So I don't know where Mr. Kulkarni is coming from. Actually, I know where he's coming from, but that's besides the point. The second thing is, as far as the delegation is concerned, I'm not surprised by the attitude of the left parties. After all, it's their student wings who in JNU raise slogans of Bharat ki Barbadi and all the other kind of obnoxious slogans which we heard in Delhi in JNU. So the attitude of the senior leaders of the leftist parties does not surprise me at all. Then let's come down to the political sagacity of the people who went to Gilani's house. Now, you know, in politics, timing is everything. And also information. Now, what is the information we have? We have the information that most of these separatist leaders, especially the Hurriyat fellows, are practically marginalized anyways. They don't control the street anymore. They cannot bring the street back under control. They have been marginalized for a number of years now. And by reaching out to them, what we are now trying to do is that somebody who has been
Minister in her capacity as President of the People's Development.
I think that is a political blunder of the highest order. The second thing is that on the street, can I talk, sir? Can I talk? I never interrupted you when you were talking. I never interrupted you when you were talking. Can you please have some patience?
I heard you out patiently. I am not interrupting. Then why is the current Chief Minister writing to them in her capacity as the President of her party?
No, you are. What else are you doing when I am talking? You are talking over me. You are not interrupting me.
Why is the invitation being sent to them?
Yeah, so that is... No, so that is exactly the point. Now their bluff is also being called, because what the separatists now face is that if they come and start entering into negotiations, apart from the various threats which stand out against them, the fact that even if they were to enter into some kind of a talks with whoever they want to talk to, they will not be able to control the street, and that will actually expose them for whatever they are worth. The more dangerous thing is that much of the mobs, some of the people are pulling the strings, but it's not these Hurriyat fellows, it's somebody else. But most of these mobs are leaderless. Now, the Hurriyat is trying to position itself and has actually, I would imagine, has shot itself in the foot, because this was their opportunity to come back to center stage, and by insulting the Indian parliamentary delegation, I think what they have done is a favor to all of us by remaining marginalized, because I don't see how anybody can make an outreach to them anymore. Not after this kind of a rebuff from their side. Now let's come down to what is happening on the street. It's 14 years, 16 years.
Ajay Alok, 1 second.
Do they know what they are fighting for? Do they know what the concept is? Do they know why they are chucking stones? Do they even know what Azadi means?
Till the time PDP, BJP government is sitting there,
facts
they will keep on getting all the kind of encouragement.
Like the NC is playing such a dubious role.
They are not marginalized.
This gentleman from
and they have proved it.
NC, you ask him what his leader's role is. It is so dubious and it is so cynical, and apparently Umar Abdullah has been telling whoever has bothered to talk to him that this is what Mehbooba did to me, so I am going to pay it back. Little realizing how much of a damage that NC is going to be causing. But that's the way cynical politics runs, and that is what is happening.
One of you at a time, please. Mr. Wani first. One second.
No, you were explaining about the Prime Minister.
Just listen to me. Arnab, give me
Mr. Wani and Sushant, Sareen, please. Can we have both of them, please, on the screen?
Landing in Islamabad
give me half a minute.
Mr. Wani is responding to Sushant, please. Let Mr. Wani respond to Sushant. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Wani.
See, this delegation has come here. It is a follow-up of what Honorable Prime Minister has said. We had a meeting with him in Delhi when all the opposition parties from the state went to meet him. He was very keen and heard everything that was happening on the ground, and he had said that he'll send a delegation here. You have to see the way the things the state government has handled here. Look at the way you have to look at the way the state government has invited all other parties.
I have the right to defend. I have to come in over here and correct the facts. I have heard Mr. Kulkarni as well as Mr. Wani. As far as the Prime Minister's statement is concerned, only about 2 days ago, Prime Minister gave a statement as far as Kashmir is concerned. He quoted 2 words, Vishwas and Vikas. Faith and development. Now tell me, faith with whom? The people who do not have faith, do not have Vishwas on the Constitution of India.
The Prime Minister said that we need to talk to all stakeholders in the state.
Sir, I request you, I will come to that point as well. Please, hear me out uninterrupted. I'll hear you as well. No, as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, the Prime Minister has always maintained, please talk to all the stakeholders who have faith in the constitutionality of India. And what
so then why are we debating all this?
Gilani says that he does not believe in constitutionality of India. They do not believe in the flag of India.
Patra,
which was the ones who do. Sir, please allow me to complete 10 sentences and then you can have 20
just small clarification from you, Mr. Patra.
People would not be able to understand if we shout over each other.
No,
sir, please.
No, Mr. Patra, I am not shouting.
Just
small clarification.
Issue will be lost. Yes.
Mr. Patra, just a small clarification. Aren't you in an agenda of alliance with PDP in the state? Aren't you running a government together in the state?
And is it in that agenda of alliance
clearly mentioned that there will be talks with Hurriyat? And there will be talks with separatists, there will be talks with all stakeholders. Isn't it written in black and white in the agenda of alliance?
Your question, let me answer that. First, let me clarify what the Prime Minister and the Home Minister have said, because this is extremely important as far as this debate is concerned. The Prime Minister always said that those who uphold the constitution of the country have Vishwas and faith in the constitution of the country, and those who believe in development. But remember, I have been attending these debates since long in Kashmir. Most of these stakeholders, and I'm so sorry, even the national conference, when the Prime Minister spoke about development, you all said it is not about development. When the Prime Minister said no stones in the hand, laptops in the hand, then Omar Abdullah was the first to tweet, no sir, it is not about stones and laptops, it is not about development, it is about something else. The problem is, all of you do not have faith in the constitution of the country, and then you call yourself as stakeholders.
No, you're wrong.
How can someone be a stakeholder in the country?
It is just
if you do not have faith in the
statement that you are making, Mr. Patra.
Second point that everyone should know. Just a second.
When we say it is not about development, that is not talking about against the countri. Mr. Patra, when we say that it is not only about development, we are not talking about
Rajnath ji has made it absolutely clear there is no place for Hayvaniyat.
Can you please explain it to me?
Yes,
how is it anti-national when we say it is not about development?
And in his Mann Ki Baat, only recently the Prime Minister had castigated the ones who are instigating the people of Kashmir to pelt stones. He had said that these people who are pelting stones have to answer to the people of India. So, sir, no place for Hayvaniyat. If you are to Hayvaniyat, and if our leaders like
all these words that you have used need to be actually implemented on ground.
Mr. Wani, I have a question for you. One second. Mr. Wani, I have a question. Sambit, a minute. My question is to Sudheendra Kulkarni, because Sudheendra Kulkarni, I think, is beginning to understand the contradictions in his own position today. I'm just coming to you, Mr.
You are
Navaid.
reading my mind better than I do.
No, I'm presuming.
Please.
You see, Mr. Kulkarni, if somebody were to say today that I will organize a medal giving ceremony to Hafiz Saeed, and I will award him with a medal, and I will publicly facilitate Hafiz Saeed, would you or anybody go to the door of that person and say that in return for your giving Hafiz Saeed a medal for killing so many Indians, we will engage in talks with you. Hafiz Saeed also believes, like Gilani, that he has a view on Kashmir. Please, sir, answer this question first, then I'll give you a follow-up.
I'll answer your question.
Yeah, please.
You know, you are making an absurd statement.
No, I'm not.
And using an absurd statement
I'm not,
to contradict.
I never make absurd statements.
Anyway, that's my point of view.
Yeah, but can I give you the reason why I feel I'm not making an absurd
comment? Since you asked a question, let me speak.
Yeah, because I just like to. I'd like
Don't interrupt me.
I'll give one line.
If you called me for a debate,
one line.
Please let me have a say.
You have as much say, but I'll give you a reason. I am absolutely sure that you are more than aware, Mr. Sudheendra Kulkarni, that Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist Burhan Wani, because I can't call him by any other name, this man Gilani said that I am giving him a Tamga-e-Azimat, which is the greatest medal of greatness for his dedication, sincerity and bravery. And you know fully well that this man, Burhan Wani, is responsible for the killing of sarpanches and many innocent, Indian citizens. And in turn for that, this man Gilani, a few weeks back, said, I will give him the greatest medal for sincerity. The man's model is, how do you encourage terrorists to kill more Indian soldiers? In turn for that, you knock at his door and say, please talk to us. Please tell the viewers tonight what kind of diplomacy this is, what political strategy, because I don't understand this.
India cannot compromise in its fight against terrorism at all.
But we have.
At the same time, in order to end terrorism, we have to have a political and a diplomatic strategy that will involve all the stakeholders, including Pakistan, which is an exporter of terrorism.
So the greatest terrorism.
No, please let me speak. Otherwise, I can't make my point.
But I must continually counter you. I must continually counter you.
I'll keep quiet.
The spirit of dialect.
This is not the way to conduct a debate, Arnab.
So I'm telling you.
If you don't allow me to complete my argument, my viewers will not know, and this is not the way to conduct a debate.
But can I counter you?
Of course, you are free to do so. But after I've had my say,
yeah. But Gilani,
I am saying that the government of India is making and has to make sincere, sustained efforts to bring peace to Kashmir.
This man wants no peace.
The Prime Minister of India,
Gilani wants no peace.
Prime Minister of India has met leaders from Kashmir, and he says that we want to talk to all opinions.
Has he met anyone who says I don't respect the Indian constitution?
Arnab.
No, one sec. Has he met anyone who says I don't respect the
Indian government also has to talk to Pakistan and bring pressure on Pakistan through international diplomacy to see to it that Pakistan stops export of terrorism.
This is a romanticized view.
At the same time, we have to have, on the one hand, a very firm strategy to counter terrorism and find a political solution to Kashmir.
What we are doing, it weakens it. Can I tell you why now? Can I make your point?
My point is this.
Can I make my point?
We have to talk to all shades of opinion.
Not to this.
In order to build Vishwas, in order to build an atmosphere of peace, of normalcy, that the Indian government wants peace.
This is counterproductive. Can I tell you why now? Now will you listen to the contrary?
I have faith in all the opposition leaders.
I have no faith
all
in
are
Gilani.
Patriots.
Gilani,
all are patriots. No, I am talking about all the opposition leaders. I am not talking about Gilani. Gilani, who is supporter of terrorism, has no respect of mine.
Why should we talk to him? Exactly.
But there are other Hurriyat leaders. But there are other Hurriyat leaders who want peace.
Okay, so you
don't think that everyone in Kashmir is a. Don't think that everyone in Kashmir is a defender of terrorism.
Thank you, first of all. Now you've given your point of view. In the spirit of an intellectually open debate, I request you, Sudheendra Kulkarni, I listen to you, now you listen to me, sir. Yes. Let us be on par. First of all, thank you for admitting, and viewers are noting tonight, that you finally said that this man Gilani is a supporter of terrorism. By that same logic, you can't speak to a supporter of terrorism. Not only is he a supporter of terrorism, he's the same man who the UPS so strongly tried to appease. He's the same man who in 2008, after the Amarnath crisis, was spreading conspiracy theories about an attempt to change the demography of the state and accused outsiders, in other words Hindus, of trying to promote their own polytheistic culture, because he does not believe in a polytheistic culture. He's against the culture of Kashmir. He's against the culture of India.
He's against Kashmir.
Then you don't engage with a person who's...
He's against Insaniyat.
So a person who is against Insaniyat, the culture of India...
Not all Hurriyat
now we dealt with one of them. The second person, as far as I'm concerned, is a person called Yasin Malik. Last seen taking a selfie with Hafiz Saeed. You want us to talk to a person who takes selfies with Hafiz Saeed? You want to convince anyone tonight, then sir, it's between you and me. I will not interrupt you. Look at that camera out there and tell the people of India that a person who takes selfies with Hafiz Saeed should be considered a serious stakeholder in the future of the people of Kashmir. You convince the viewers tonight. I can even tell you.
I can tell you that against the diktat of Gilani, several Hurriyat leaders accepted the invitation of Vajpayee, met Advaniji.
It was a pointless negotiation.
No, and I can tell you that tomorrow, Prime Minister Modi will have to engage all stakeholders, including separatists. Because separatists, you can't say that they are separatists because
I'm sorry, I think that people who want to respond to you out there, I think starting with Sushant, Sareen, Navaid, Hamid needs to come into the debate. 1 second, Sushil Pandit, before you come in, Sushant, Sareen on the debate. Look, Sushant, Sareen on the debate, it's reaching an interesting turn. Sushant, Sareen responding to
Arnab, it's very simple.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Forget about the label of the Hurriyat. Now, if some people in that conglomerate see the better sense and say that, okay, fine, they're open to some kind of a political negotiation within the framework of the Indian Constitution, that is something which has been happening plenty of times in the past,
right.
In the northeast, in other parts of India as well, including in Punjab for that matter. So, if that happens in Kashmir, I don't think anybody will have any objection to it. So, forget about the label Hurriyat, but components of the Hurriyat, if they want to push forward some kind of a political process which happens within the framework of the Constitution, why should the Prime Minister of India say no to that? I don't think he'll say no to that at all. Number two, and this is most important, I think Mr. Sudheendra Kulkarni hasn't really thought through his very, very highfalutin kind of stance which he takes on this whole issue of talking to Pakistan. Does he actually think that Pakistan wants peace with India? The paper on which Musharraf was negotiating was thrown in the rubbish bin the day he doffed his uniform. In fact, while he was in office, there were enough indication that even though the Pakistanis were engaged with India as far as Kashmir is concerned, there were 17 major terrorist attacks in India. This is the time which most of the
Indian soldiers were killed.
Golden period of India-Pakistan relationship. 17 major terrorist attacks culminating with the 26/11 attack.
Good point.
Number 3, and this is most important, the day the People's Party government came in, that day, and I remember I was talking to senior People's Party leaders, they repudiated the agreement of Musharraf even before they had come into office. Nawaz Sharif has thrown it in the rubbish bin. Now, who is picking that up? So this whole business that the Pakistanis want peace with India is a complete work of fiction.
Absolutely.
Which people like Mr. Sudheendra Kulkarni, who want to keep travelling across the border for their junkets, keep peddling. It is utter nonsense and nothing more than nonsense. And for these people to tell us that everybody in Pakistan in the political spectrum wants to have good relations with India, yes, for lip service, they do pay lip service to good relations with India.
He must respond.
But please ask them, what are the terms and conditions for having good relations with India?
I will give equal time.
Section of India to have good relations with India.
I will give open time, because you've been accused, Mr. Sudheendra Kulkarni, of peddling the Pakistan point of view or encouraging it for your own personal reasons. He's accused you of you've heard it there. Go ahead, respond straight to him. Go ahead.
I have a question.
To whom?
To all who are questioning me, including you.
Yes.
That is, after all these terrorist attacks in India, the Prime Minister of India, Modi, still went to Pakistan December 2015 and said, "Ab to aana jana chalta hi rahega."
Right.
And I can tell you that he will again go to Pakistan. Can we take a position that we will never again talk to Pakistan? We will never again visit Pakistan? Is that what you're proposing?
Why not? Why not?
At least, the Prime Minister of India will not listen to you.
Why can't we take that position?
The Prime Minister of India will not listen to you, and he has not listened to people like you. He still went to Pakistan.
And that is why.
And he will again go to Pakistan.
Every Prime Minister who has listened to you has then had to sit in opposition. That is the problem. That is the problem with people like you. You advise the Prime Minister.
Every Prime Minister is interested in peace. In peace in the neighborhood, and for peace in the neighborhood, peace in Kashmir, we have to talk to Pakistan.
Of course they are, but peace at what term? Not at your term. You want to keep turning the other cheek and keep receiving slaps from the other side. Many of us are not interested in that kind of peace.
You pass. You pass. Point is made. So Sambit Patra wanted to come in. Sambit.
No. Mr. Kulkarni has talked about the Prime Minister of India, saying that in the future also he has added two caveats to this debate. He said that we have to in the future talk to the separatists, and he's also predicted that in the future also the Prime Minister will keep on traveling to Pakistan. I mean, I'm astonished though, but I'll tell you, Mr. Kulkarni, you seem to understand diplomacy. In diplomacy, national interest is of paramount importance. Well, yes, in the future, whenever it would be in the interest of India, the Prime Minister will take a step which would benefit India. But whenever we would be backstabbed, or whenever Pakistan would overstep to create a mayhem in India, we will reply back. We will reply back in a way that they would understand, in a way which they would never forget. Remember, so to say that we have to talk to the separatists, we have to talk to Pakistan, the language that you spoke, Mr. Kulkarni, I'm so sorry to state, appeared as if you were giving an edge to the separatists in Pakistan. Sorry, sir. The only problem is we, the Indian politicians, are not realizing their own weight. They are hitting below their weight. They have to hit at their weight. That is the problem. Today, all these top-class Indian politicians going and standing in queue outside the separatist shows that the Indian politicians have not realized what they are.
Sambit Patra has some shame. Arnab, there is one fact that must be pointed out.
Ajay and Sambit.
Arnab, the both very purpose of your debate was why the opposition leader went to the separatists. I will tell you why. Because BJP allowed separatists to form government in Kashmir. PDP and Hurriyat are the political
separatists to form government?
Hurriyat is the primary party.
We all know. And
BJP formed government with separatists as the very first point. Look, 1 year back there was 81% assembly participation in the polls, and the separatists were marginalized even after giving a boycotting call. After their government in 1 year, why the separatists have become so powerful that they have taken the state for a ransom? Who is responsible for it? You are not questioning Arnab Goswami.
No, who is making
they made an agenda of alliance in
by
which Hurriyat was
the doorstep?
No.
Begging in front of the door. You are making them powerful, sir.
It is not the separatists alone. It is not the traditional separatists. There is a new phenomena which is at play, and that phenomena has been at play for a number of years, and successive governments have been sleeping on their job.
Their double standards, Arnab Goswami, you are not questioning, and today you are accusing that we are going and talking to separatists.
Yeah, I have a problem. I have a problem.
About nation.
I have a problem.
We are concerned about nation.
For having a
when they are in the power, we have to go to them.
We BJP leaders were not there to have a
power. Courtesy central government, we have to go to them.
Have a cup of tea.
And you are also
actually goes ahead to say
Mufti gave an appeal to
what if I don't get a cup of tea this year? Last year I got a cup of black coffee. Just imagine.
Joining the debate tonight.
Black intention and black coffee.
Joining the debate tonight.
Are you defending that now?
Joining the debate tonight. And by the way, I would just like to say to Navaid Hamid. Navaid Hamid, we are no one second. Navaid Hamid.
Do you defend Mahbooba now?
Ajay, Alok, one second. Navaid Hamid, welcome to the debate. You feel free to come in at any point of time. Before that, I want to ask, Fuad Halim. Fuad, I have a simple question for you. You go to the streets of Kolkata today, where you are live from this evening, and say that, ask any person on the streets of Kolkata, that there is a man called Gilani who says, I am not Indian. I refuse to acknowledge the fact that I am Indian by birth. He says, I am ashamed when you call me an Indian. For me, it is a mere compulsion. And then go and say that your leader Sitaram Yechuri, along with D. Raja and Sharad Yadav and someone else, goes and stands outside this person's door and said, please open the door. We, the Indian Parliament, have come to you who do not consider yourself an Indian, who insults India on a daily basis, who has never won an election, who supports terrorists, who wants to give them medals. We, the Indian Parliament, come to you and say, please talk to us. Ask anyone in Kolkata today, I'm only saying this for terms of physical proximity, and ask them today whether they agree with your position, please. I mean, it's embarrassing out here. Why would you reward a person for openly propagating an anti-India sentiment on Indian soil?
We were standing at the door of the Home Minister with the proposal of sending an all-party delegation to Kashmir. and we know it's taken 58 days for that idea to mature in the government to accept it, and we don't claim ownership. The government has
No,
definitely
are you saying?
accepted
No, are you saying? Are you saying? Fuad, simple counter question, because it will be very interesting that aspect. My counter question to you: Are you saying? Fuad, my counter question to you is. Fuad, my question to you is. Let's be very clear about it, because if you've been given that mandate, it has very serious repercussions.
In the valley has to be very clear.
Fuad,
that
what did the government tell you?
Delegation
Fuad, did the government tell the all-party delegation?
Of opinion.
No, Fuad, did the government?
Despite this,
Fuad, listen to me. Small counter.
At the moment,
small counter
has to be buttressed by the entire political diaspora.
Fuad,
we cannot have.
For the small counter,
people talking at cross purposes as yet.
Fuad, a small counter
has started off.
No, Fuad,
it is not an easy road that is going to negotiate.
Fuad, 1 second, a small counter to you, and this will be very important. I'm placing this on record now, okay? Please listen to me, because I'm going to ask you to show the proof. Please tell all the viewers, and Sambit can take this discussion forward. Sambit, did the government of India, let's be very clear on the way we are phrasing it, did the government of India ask any member of the all-party delegation or give them the right to break away and engage in one-to-one dialogue with any of the separatists and pro-Pakistan studios? Did this have official sanction? Sambit Patra, if it did, please say so.
No, did the
did it, Sambit?
Give the state government the right to go ahead and invite the Hurriyat? No, you have to ask that question first. So these questions are irrelevant at the moment, Arnav. The concrete reality, Sambit, I've been listening to you. Please give me some time. Now the concrete reality is, I've heard a lot of questions. Now please have the patience of listening to the answer. The question was given to me, Sambit, let me answer it. Now coming to the concrete reality in the valley over there, 58 days of what you call turmoil has been taking place over there. The situation is at a boil over there.
Can you hear me?
An all-party delegation representing the entire political diaspora of India has gone to the valley. They have taken certain efforts that are going to increase the confidence. They have not met with success in certain regions. In other places, they are meeting people. There are other stakeholders. The entire conversation can't be reduced to the Hurriyat only. There are other stakeholders that are being engaged by the all-party delegation.
Can you hear me? Can Fuad hear me?
Move from one place to another place.
Fuad, 1 minute. Fuad, just 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Can you please stop, because I think it won't serve the purpose if you continue without taking the question. Please don't avoid my question, and please tell me. You know, I began the program by saying Fuad, listen, please. Fuad, listen, yaar. Please listen to me, please. I began the program by saying that take it seriously, okay? It's not a picnic. You don't pick up your picnic basket.
Absolutely not.
Now listen to me. Don't stop. Don't interrupt me. You don't pick up your picnic basket, go to Srinagar and say, okay, you go to Mirwais, you go to Gilani, you go to, you go to Gilani, I'll go to Yasin Malik, let's just have a little picnic around. Did you or did you not have official sanction to talk to people who are supporting terrorists? Did you have official sanction? Was there official sanction to talk to people? Was there official sanction to talk to people who support terrorists? It's a legitimate question to ask. You cannot go there on your own and do what you want. Was there official sanction? Was there official sanction? Show me the paper. Show me. Then say so.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you. Was the state government at a variance with the central government? Was that decided upon?
When the state government, when the state government, there's a total, one second.
Confidence building measure.
One second. There is a huge difference between the two. Fuad, ruk jao na, 2 minutes. Don't go on like that, because it's very bothersome. When a chief minister says, I would like to welcome the Hurriyat for talks or whatever, I think Mehbooba Mufti's made a big mistake. She should not be compromising her own position by saying that I'm open to talking to the pro-Pakistan stooges. But when she does so, she's sworn by the constitution, and any talks will have to happen as per the constitution of India. But when leaders go to the door when leaders go to the door, like when Sharad Yadav goes to the door of Gilani and says, please talk to me. Talk to me. He is wanting unconditional talks. He wants Ajay Alok, Navaid Hamid. He's saying we'll have talks regardless of whether they are under the Indian Constitution or not.
You are behaving insane today.
No, what's Navaid Hamid? No, listen. Keep your personal comments to yourself. My question is, any talks happen with a set of conditions? And Navaid Hamid is on the debate. Navaid Hamid is finally coming in. Navaid Hamid, please. Navaid Hamid, please. Navaid Hamid, Ajay Alok. Navaid Hamid.
As Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir.
Let me tell you.
And please remember that BJP is part of that PDP-led government in Jammu and Kashmir. Number one. Number two, we have been engaged in negotiation with Naga leaders who have been denouncing Indian Constitution for more than 65 years. We have been engaging with them. And the fruits of engagement have bear out. They are now part of the solution. So whatever, to my understanding, whatever the opposition leaders have done, it has a tactical support of Government of India, because they were part of a joint delegation to Srinagar. They have not gone as individual leaders or as opposition leaders.
Okay.
Why we fail to understand that?
Okay, so you're saying that it was a setup by the Government of India, which gives it a different spin. We'll debate it.
It was a tactical support by Government of India to send them.
Navaid Hamid, we'll spend some time on this aspect. One second. Navaid, Sambit, wait. This now sets up an interesting next 10 minutes of debate. Right now, 6 minutes past 10, our panelists are alleging that whatever happened today, which we are debating on the Newshour, that all these opposition leaders went with their begging bowls outside the pro-Pakistan stooges' houses and said, talk to us, was an indirect attempt by the Government of India, and hence they had the support, the planning, they were only being executed by these leaders, that it was actually the Government of India which wanted these separatist leaders to be engaged in, and that Owaisi, Sharad Yadav, D. Raja, Sitaram Yechuri went with a begging bowl outside these leaders' houses and says, please talk to us, because the government told them to. This is the allegation of both Ajay Alok as well as Navaid Hamid. Sambit will respond. Sambit, is there truth in this? Sambit, one of you at a time. Sambit. All right, I heard you. Let Sambit respond. Sambit, is this true? Sambit, you see.
Government delegation.
Sambit, you see.
Indian Parliament delegation.
Sambit. No. Watch. The reason I'm not dismissing this outright. One second. The reason I'm not dismissing Sambit, 1 minute. Sambit, 1 minute. 1 minute before you say they are wrong and before you protest too much, Sambit. The reason I am not dismissing this theory being put by Ajay Alok and Navaid Hamid outright, if you look at the chronology of events between yesterday and today, yesterday Mehbooba Mufti's statement that I want talks with Pakistan, I want talks with Hurriyat, took a lot of people by surprise. Because she was openly making that point a day. She knew the all-party delegation is coming. Within 12 hours of that, the all-party delegation comes and they start having these individual picnic journeys to all these Hurriyat leaders. It appears a little orchestrated. Are you sure that all of this was done as some kind of an internal revolt breakaway of these individual leaders? And if that is the case, why is the BJP not openly coming out? Why didn't you have a press conference and say that these leaders broke the faith of the Indian Parliament by having these individual sessions with leaders who are known Pakistan stooges? See, Sambit, you have a little bit to explain on this one. Either you respond directly to Navaid Hamid and Ajay Alok, but don't try to deflect it. Sambit, don't deflect it. Sambit, don't deflect it.
I'm ready.
Don't deflect it. Respond to Ajay Alok.
You can put me on frame with Navaid Halim, I'll answer Navaid ji. Navaid ji, the questions that you have put here are the answers. First and foremost, you saying that this was an orchestration and there was some kind of tactical support by the Government of India. This question has been raised twice on the floor of Parliament, if you would remember, whether we should talk to the Hurriyat component of the separatists or not. And remember what the Home Minister, while he was at...
Ajay, one of you. Ajay, listen. Ajay, Navaid. No, watch it. Ajay, Navaid, 1 minute. Ajay, Navaid. Sambit, stop. Watch it. The way we'll debate this, I want to take this as follows. It's an important point. Ajay Alok has a right to counter you. So does Navaid Hamid. Because this country... No, but Sambit, wait a minute. Sambit, wait a minute. We'll go for the 1 minute rule now, which means, Sambit, you can't talk beyond 1 minute. You will stop and complete your point in 1 minute. And between Navaid Hamid, Ajay Alok or Sudheendra Kulkarni, one of you will respond at one time. So it is a very important point. Did these leaders have any official approval? Or did they jump the gun and break away on their own? Sambit, respond, finish in 1 minute, and Navaid and Alokji after that. Yeah, come on. Sambit, keep your tempers down, gentlemen.
On the floor of Parliament, whatever is said on the floor of Parliament is sacrosanct. None other than the Home Minister of the country who was leading the delegation today on being...
I am talking about today's event.
No,
Sambit Patra, I am talking about today's
I have no issues. Mr. Navaid, you know the answer, and that is why, since you are begging in front of the Separatist house, you are a stooge of the Separatists. You do not...
don't get personal.
That is why you interrupt.
Don't get personal.
No, why not personal? You set a rule of 1 minute, and here is a stooge of Separatists breaking the rules.
Sambit Patra, listen here. I can call the Hurriyat a stooge of the Separatists. One minute. I call the Hurriyat stooges of Pakistan, because these are people who say we are not Indian by birth. I request you, Sambit, whatever your personal animosity, let us not get personal in this response in the debate between either you, Ajay, or Sambit.
My 1 minute, thereafter I'm listening to them.
Okay, you get your 1 minute. Ajay, you and Navaid must let Sambit give his 1 minute, otherwise we are wasting time. Sambit, now I give you 45 seconds.
Yes.
In 45 seconds, you will have to prove to me that this did not have official sanction. Where is your statement?
The official sanction was not given on the floor of Parliament. When Sitaram Yechury ji and other leaders wanted to talk to Hurriyat, what did Rajnath Singh said? Only those components are stakeholders who believe in constitution of the country, others are not stakeholders. Only those who believe in bringing back peace to Kashmir. The Hurriyats and the Separatists don't believe in the constitution of India. That is amply clear to the leaders who went to the home today. Second part is, as far as PDP chief is concerned, Mehboobaji. The letter that was written yesterday was as a capacity of the PDP chief, not as a chief minister. As a chief minister, when to start with Rajnath Singh.
Okay, 1 minute time up. Sudheendra Kulkarni is also laughing.
She castigated the Separatists. She castigated the Separatists, saying that those whose ward...
I guess 45 seconds are over.
45 seconds over. I agree. 45 seconds over. 45 seconds over. Which one of you are responding?
And look at the shameless...
No, Sambit.
Now mute him.
Sambit, 45 seconds up. I will mute. 1 second. When the time limit is over, we mute. Now, Navaid Hamid.
Mehbooba Mufti, you should come out from the government.
Okay.
Out from the government.
Now, 1 second. 1 second.
We should come out of the government so that you can form a government without any...
No. Sambit, stop. 1 minute now to Ajay Alok to respond. Sudheendra Kulkarni, your turn. After that, the debate continues. Did what happened today have official sanction or not? Ajay Alok.
Regarding official sanction, I will refer to Siddharth Singh's statements today in Times Now, 6 o'clock debate. Please.
Siddharth wants to come on the phone call.
You will get the answer.
1 second.
Number two.
On that, I want to say one thing. On that, I want to say one thing. Sorry.
Number two.
Sorry. No, sorry, Ajay Alok. I'm making an announcement. I'm making an announcement. I will give you more than 1 minute, but I'm making an announcement. I have received an official message from Siddharth Singh, saying Ajay Alok is fabricating facts. I want to expose him. He wants to come live on the phone right now. We're going to connect Siddharth Singh right now. Till then, you continue your point.
Okay.
He's accusing you of fabrication.
I just like to ask Sambit Patra and BJP, in their agenda of alliance with PDP, there was clearly mentioned that we will talk to Hurriyat.
No, why bring the agenda of alliance over here when things are black and white on the floor of the Parliament? The Chief Minister and the Home Minister...
Number 3, don't interfere. I ask you to mute him.
Agenda of alliance
I ask you to mute him. I ask you to mute him.
Sambit, don't respond. Sambit, don't heckle.
You are shouting on top of...
Sambit, stop. Sambit, stop.
Number 3.
Sambit, stop.
Number 3. If yesterday the Chief Minister of a state gives an open call to Hurriyat that please come and please indicate the time and place where the delegation should come to meet you, then where is the question of official sanction, Mr. Goswami? Because that state is being run by the central government and the state government together. And today you are questioning where is the sanctioning of other opposition leader going to Hurriyat, and you're saying that we are begging for a ball. Don't you know all these things? It's an absolute failure. The BJP has lost it.
For a bowl. They are
absolutely cheated with PDP, and in the turn they have cheated the whole country. Today Kashmir is burning because of them. Not this situation has arisen ever before. What we are seeing today.
I have Siddharth Nath Singh on the phone. Siddharth is on the phone. Siddharth is on the phone. Siddharth Nath Singh is on the phone. 1 second, Siddharth. 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second, Siddharth. There are two things happening right now. First, let me state the terms of the debate. As of this minute, controversy is blown with the opposition leaders saying there is a tacit approval of the central government to these talks in which breakaway meetings happened with Hurriyat leaders, which Ajay Alok is not relenting on that position. He maintains there was tacit approval. So does Fuad Halim. That's a matter which will have to be settled. You claim Ajay Alok of the JDU is making up facts about what you've said. Go ahead, respond. Ajay, I hope you can hear Siddharth. Go ahead. Siddharth, go ahead.
Well, I was in a debate at 6 o'clock today with Ajay Aloki.
Yes.
And what he is saying that I apologize on behalf of the BJP and TDP government. I'm sorry, that's not
No, I never said you apologized. It is not a question of apologizing.
If you rewind,
I said you made a candid admission.
And please allow us.
I said you made a candid admission that people have lost trust
you said I
with center and state. Did you say that or not?
Let me
Did you say that or not? That people have lost trust in center and
please
state.
allow me.
Okay, he's on the phone.
Allow me to speak. Don't be agitated. What I said, I know what I said, and it can be rewinded and seen. I said. Yeah, what the delegation...
Yes, it can be reminded and played.
The delegation has gone there. It needs to regain the lost trust. Now, that doesn't mean the lost trust is an apology. It's a matter of fact that there is in the Kashmir Valley, if you take the 5...
I will request Arnav to play that again.
The separatists, dominated by the separatist politics, there is those who want to be with India and under the Constitution of India, and they want. But you, as a country, irrespective of the government, particularly, I would say last 60 years, they have not delivered what they wanted to be delivered within the framework of the Constitution of India. Now, if you cannot understand this and say that...
Well, I can understand everything. I just request Mr. Goswami to play your statement again.
Please ask... we both are...
I will just request Science now to play it again.
Okay, you made your point, Siddharth. Now we go back to the debate. Siddharth, you made your point. Otherwise, this conversation goes on. You want to make clarification? Got it. Now, is this appearing to be an ongoing controversy here? Because, I have a feeling today that the opposition, if Fuad Halim and Ajay Alok are representing their point of view, are not going to relent. They maintain a position that today these leaders went and met the pro-Pakistan stooges because there was tacit approval. You also made that point. On what basis are you saying that? Is that just your gut instinct, your feeling, your assumption, or what? Sudheendra Kulkarni, go on.
The entire nation knows that Mehbooba Muftiji, who is the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, invited Hurriyat leaders for talks. And BJP
under the ambit of the Constitution?
No, it is for the Prime Minister to question then. She has invited. She is the Chief Minister of the state which has to deal with the situation.
Did she go on that door?
More than you and me. More than you and me.
Did she go to the door?
That's not a question.
Did she initiate the talks? Because when you say...
Mehbooba Mufti is also saying time and again that the government of India should talk to Pakistan. And I fully support her. And since she is part of... her government also has the BJP in it. The BJP has to decide whether she is taking an anti-national stand or not.
Yeah, why didn't you take that position yesterday, Sambit, Patra? I think there is a point here. You're the one, you need to do a lot of explaining tonight. And I must say the debate is turning over the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
You need to explain why... No, one second. No, Sambit.
Every bit would be explained,
Consistency is your question. What you're being questioned tonight
I would be
is on consistency.
And I would give you a logic which everyone on this panel would buy. When you say that there was a tacit support, that the government wanted talks with Hurriyat, my simple submission is, if such was the fact, Mr. Rajnath Singh on previous 2 occasions went to Jammu and Kashmir. He could have easily talked to the Hurriyat, but he did not. Meaning that the message was absolutely clear.
Ajay, counter.
The Constitution.
Ajay, quick counter. Ajay, counter.
You're talking. politics.
Let me complete the second
Ajay,
point
count it.
also. Let me
I allow the count. I allow the
To
counter.
entertain anyone.
Well.
Come on, Sambit Patra.
As far as
Enough of it.
PDP is concerned, as far as
They refuse to meet the Home Minister. They refuse to talk to Home Minister. Even till today. Till today.
You don't have to be
they
so
are not
agitated.
ready to
I
talk.
understand the
And
pain
it has
that you are
happened
feeling
only because you
your
formed the
leader
government
has
with
been
PDP.
refused a cup
You
of
have
tea.
raised their morale.
I can understand
You
your
have
pain,
raised
but
the
this
morale
is a serious issue.
of the separatists.
Let's not
You
shout.
have raised the morale of separatists.
Who said?
Accept it. This
They are
happens.
all under house
But we are
arrest,
with
sir.
you.
Do
Now
you
at
know?
least take tough measures.
If we
Now
wanted
at
to
least
have
take
talks
tough
with them,
measures.
we could
Like
have
yesterday
released
I
them.
said,
We could have released them. They're all under
Yesterday I
house
also
arrest.
said
Get
to
your
you,
facts
impose
right.
president rule.
Mr. Ajay
Now
Alok.
take tough measures.
Mr.
We are with
Ajay
the
Alok.
government. It's a matter of nation.
I understand
We are
you have
with the
not got
government
the
and
cup
with the
of
Prime
tea,
Minister,
but
Mr.
please
Patra.
don't shout at me.
We are
Navaid
with
Hamid,
you.
Go and
Navaid
ask for a
Hamid,
cup of
Navaid
tea to
Hamid,
Gilani.
Navaid Hamid.
Action.
Let me complete. I was
Navaid,
keeping a
tough
serious
action.
point. Ajay
I will.
Alok
Navaid
jumped
Hamid
into
is
the
back on the
middle of
debate. Navaid on the right, please. One second. Navaid Hamid.
Mr. Kulkarni, I
Navaid
wanted
Hamid.
to address your second point as far as
Mr. Kulkarni,
Mehbooba
Mr.
Mufti
Kulkarni,
is
Mr. Kulkarni.
concerned. Mr. Kulkarni, when you say that the PDP, in fact, the PDP chief wrote a letter and she wanted talk with the separatists, I would say, well, yes, he submitted a letter as a chief of the party, but as a chief minister, she did not release these separatists from house arrest, remember. If she were to go the way Sarad Yadav and the other leaders had gone, naturally the government would have released the separatists, provided them with a car, welcomed them to the delegation, going by the standards in which
You're going on the
other
logistics.
leaders, the so-called leaders from opposition, went begging for a cup of tea. But they were not released from the house arrest. Why were not they released?
Sudheendra
They were not
Kulkarni.
released because the message
You can respond to him.
clear.
Sudheendra Kulkarni to Sambit. There, sir.
See, is the Prime Minister of India or the Home Minister of India going to castigate Mehbooba Mufti for inviting Hurriyat for talks? This is the question I want to ask. Mehbooba Mufti, who is also the Chief Minister, did invite Hurriyat for talks.
Yes, yesterday.
My question is the Prime Minister or the Home Minister going to disown this, castigate the Chief Minister for doing this, and is the BJP going to come out of the coalition government? Let them answer this question.
I'll answer this. Number one, as far as your question that whether the Prime Minister or Home Minister will castigate Mehbooba Mufti as the chief of PDP for having written the letter, so you know the answer. Any political party in this democratic country, the chief has the right to write letter. We would not castigate any leader if he or she writes a letter of advice. It was a letter of advice, remember. But what we did as a government, what we did together, BJP...
Navaid Hamid.
That is what is the constitutional position. As a constitutional
I can't hear Navaid Hamid.
The government of Jammu and Kashmir acted in a way...
I think it's an hollow argument to fool people of India. It's a hollow argument, Arnab.
Hollow argument?
She has invited them.
Your hollow argument where you are trying to defend people who are trying to defend
and not as a PDP leader.
Argument. We are consistent with our stand right from the very beginning. That why give importance to separatists when they do not consider this country as
exactly, important? But why?
Our stand has been very consistent.
I think Sudheendra Kulkarni is counting.
None other than
Sudheendra Kulkarni, you can count it directly. Sudheendra Kulkarni.
Why your competitors?
Mr. Kulkarni.
None other than Mehbooba Mufti is giving importance to Hurriyat. In her personal capacity or as leader of PDP, she has no standing whatsoever.
Last time when she sat with a press conference with the Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, what did she say? She said that these are the separatist leaders who send their children to school outside and they instigate the stone pelters over here.
But nevertheless, she invited them for talk.
That's right.
Nevertheless, she invited them for talks.
Ask this gentleman not to talk about
you are getting it wrong.
History.
You are getting it wrong. The Chief Minister did not invite. The party chief advised that when we should talk. But then the government did not release these separatists from their house arrest. If the government would have released them from their house arrest, meaning please welcome to the delegation place, come and have a meeting, then you had every right questioning us. But you walked down to the doors of these separatists. You, in the sense, the leaders who went today, they walked down to the doors and please open the door. That's what they were begging. And what the answer was from inside the door is
whether the BJP government center is willing to come out with a statement that these opposition leaders went on their own.
Yes. Will they? Will you do that?
I'll answer that as well.
No. Will you
Sir,
do that?
Sambit,
the overwhelming demand right now among a lot of people is that you come out. Will you come out with an official statement? Ajay, Alok, also on that, please. If they went on their own, then distance yourself publicly from it. Will you come out with an official statement saying that leaders went on their own without your tacit approval?
I'll answer that, sir. Allow me. So first and foremost, I am not the government spokesperson.
Allow him.
I cannot overstep my guns, but still I would, as a party spokesperson, I would say, all party delegation is a matter of courtesy as well. I opened my statement by saying that, well, look, Sarad Yadav is no small leader. We respect him, he's a tall leader. They all went as a party delegation. And what they did is a matter of debate tonight. Over here we're discussing it. But whether the government will come out with a press conference, whether the government will issue a letter, that is a government issue. The government would...
Ajay, Alok.
I'm sure tomorrow, when this whole issue comes up for discussion, the leaders who went would be
forget what you have done in the past. Take some tough actions. Forget what you have done in the past. Country requires some tough measures now. We have the government issue. Take tough measures. Take tough measures. Control Kashmir. Don't come on the channel and just do rhetoric. Enough of it.
No, don't you see the tough measures are being taken?
Do
Can't you see that?
Do something concrete.
We all have to speak in unison, sir, on this
what is happening to the country?
Sir,
you have formed the government with separatists. Look what is happening to the country.
You all kept on. Peace will return only when all party delegation goes. There is an all party delegation tonight.
Let us look at the effort.
आप लोगों ने हर दिन पार्लियामेंट में कहा all party delegation goes. Well, yes, it's a democratic country. We have allowed the
all party delegation men there.
It is a matter of courtesy. It is a matter of courtesy. I'm not attacking the leaders, but it is something.
What courtesy you are talking about? Which courtesy you are talking about
today?
Which courtesy you are talking about? You don't have any shame. You are raising question on all party who went to meet the separatists with whom we have formed government, and you are raising questions on them.
Look at it. You went knocking at the doors of the Hurriyat conference leaders.
You went. Yes, we went.
Empty-handed. You are saying
we went because you formed government with them.
Why should I be
You formed government with them. Your chief minister was inviting them for talk.
He go
so
to
we went there.
Hurriyat conference leaders.
You don't have any shame left.
Did he invite anyone?
You don't have any shame left. You are shameless.
You have lost. You don't have any logic left. You don't have any logic left.
And you have lost it.
It is sometimes
Sambit,
better to be quiet on a debate than to shout.
Agenda of alliance में हुर्रियत देख के भी सरकार बनाई. Agenda of alliance में हुर्रियत देख के भी सरकार बनाई PDP के साथ.
I do not know. I do not want
agenda of alliance
to talk about agenda of alliance. I want to talk about
why you do not want to talk?
This government has
agenda of alliance.
This government has arrested all the separatists, has not
जो
released
BJP
them.
ने साइन किया क्यों? Why don't
you have rushed to their homes?
And when there was an all-party delegate, why people went there, Siddhartha Singh explained very nicely. Go and listen to him. That's why I was asking Arnab Goswami to play it again, so that the whole nation should know.
I know my senior leader, Siddhartha Singh, far better than you.
Point today is,
he explained that fantastically while he was rebutting you. He has put
you have the power in your hand.
He never apologized. He never apologized for anything. You are trying to misconstrue. But let me be very clear over here. I don't want to go into a two-man way.
I
don't want to fight with you, sir, but you have belittled. Your leader has belittled the stature of India. I don't want to fight you, Mr. Ajay Alok.
प्रधानमंत्री जी की इमेज का ख्याल कीजिए.
देश को धोखा दिया. क्या बोल रहे हैं आप?
देश आपको सपोर्ट करेगा.
Bihar does not share any boundary with Pakistan. Yet Nitish Kumar goes and visits Bihar, goes and visits Pakistan. Why does he go and visit Pakistan?
By saying all these useless things. Prime Minister goes for a lunch on in
I don't want to unnecessarily fight Mr. Ajay Alok. Mr. Ajay Alok has
I have one question to Ajay Alok. Ajay Alok, one minute.
In Kashmir.
Mr. Navaid Hamid. My question now that I want to get Sushil Pandit in. But Ajay, I have a question for you. Ajay, suppose tomorrow morning or day after or whenever, tonight, suppose the government does exactly what you're saying they should do. And they come out with an official statement saying at no level have we directly, indirectly, tacitly allowed these leaders to go to the pro-Pakistan stooges. Whatever they have done is on their own. And they have broken the spirit with which they went there, if such a statement is made by the government, then will you apologize?
No. Why should we?
Why?
Why we should?
Well, for breaking the spirit of the delegation?
Excuse me, Mr. Goswami.
Come on, Ajay, look, be realistic. Sushil Pandit is on the debate. Sushil.
When BJP can form the government with Hurriyat's political offshoot PDP, and they can have an agenda of alliance, they can write that yes, Hurriyat is a stakeholder, we will hold talks with them. When the Chief Minister of the state gives call to Hurriyat, that please indicate your time and place, and we'll send
Sushil
the
Pandit,
delegation there.
Sushil Pandit.
They are all justified.
Arnab,
but if some of the
Sushil Pandit.
Arnab, if the parliamentary delegation, Arnab, if the parliamentary delegation going around in Srinagar with a begging bowl shocked you, then let me share another fact with you.
Navaid, Hamid.
Tomorrow, as an afterthought, this delegation goes to Jammu.
For a tactical understanding, just give me 10 seconds.
And
please
listen to me.
Please.
Listen to me. Tell me whether this one is also tactical, what I am going to share with you.
Please listen for 10 seconds, Sunil. Give me
Listen to me first. Listen to me first. Let me share this fact with you.
And vehicles.
Let me share this fact with you first. Nahid, don't close your mind. Let me share this fact with you. The delegation is going to Jammu tomorrow as an afterthought. It is going to meet between 2:55 and 3:03 p.m. in 8 minutes flat, 11 delegations. It is only for optics, just to do a balancing act, trying to communicate that we are meeting Jammu as well. This is how they treat a patriotic region which is standing up for India. And this is what they did today in Srinagar when they went about with a begging bowl. They are an insincere lot and they do not know what they are doing and what they want to achieve.
Who's an insincere lot?
It is this mindset which has brought Kashmir to the present status.
You're saying these leaders are an insincere lot?
National delegation has gone there.
Absolutely.
Ajay Alok.
They haven't thought through as to what they want from them, whether it is achievable or not, whether these people are worth talking to or not. They are just kites flying in Srinagar.
Meeting with Hurriyat, knocking their doors. Please confine this debate to that. Please confine. You know, this is a tactical move to divert that attention when we are going to have a conclusion. But I would simply
what kind of conclusion will you have with Hurriyat?
And why PDP
which cuckoo land are you living in?
And vehicles to oppose
Get real.
To knock the doors
Get
of the
real, Mr. Naid.
Hurriyat leaders.
And tomorrow's plan was not even thought of. They are going to Jammu in the afternoon tomorrow to make a show of some meeting with some groups in 8 minutes flat, 11 groups, just to be seen doing a balancing act between Valley and Jammu.
I join with your concern. I fully join with your concern. But please,
it doesn't matter whether you join or not.
Why government of
my last question is to the National Conference.
Has given vehicles.
My last question is to the National Conference. My last question is to the National Conference, Mr. Wani.
Mr. trying to portray
Mr. Wani.
The delay in the
Mr. Wani.
delegation has definitely impacted, but I think so. The
Mr. Wani.
delegation needs to be given
Arnab, go ahead.
to play.
Mr. Wani.
An impact.
Mr. Wani, you represent a party that calls itself the National Conference. When you are in power, you are against terrorists, especially those people who carried out the Mumbai attacks, and therefore all their supporters and cohorts and their chamchas. This is exactly the line that your leader Mustafa Kamal, your leader Omar Abdullah took when he was in power. Please explain to the viewer tonight why you lose any sense of national interest when you're in the opposition. Are you so desperate to somehow... No. 1 second, sir. Let me complete. Are you so desperate to somehow come to power that you will pander to the lowest common denominator? I'm sorry. I'm telling you, when Yasin Malik shared the stage, when Yasin Malik shared the stage,
nationalism to you,
sir, let me tell you. Let me complete my sentence, then respond to me. Sir, listen.
No, listen to me. There is no alternative to dialogue. And we will have to talk to all stakeholders here. We maintain that when we were in power, and we are saying that now when we are in opposition.
Okay, now let me tell you one thing.
And
hypocrisy.
We will have to engage with Pakistan.
That's a hypocritical position, and I'll tell you why. Because ahead of the 2000...
No, that is your perception.
I don't do perception talk.
About everybody.
I do factual talk. You are doing perception talk.
That is your usual. See, that is your style. I grant you that is your style.
Okay.
But Mr. Arnab Goswami, I told you earlier also, you have never been part of a solution.
Okay.
Rather, you have been part of a problem in every issue that has been
again, I'm grateful to you. If a political party feels I'm part of a problem, the day political parties feel that you are part of the solution, I'll have a problem. Now listen to me. Now listen to me, sir. I don't want a certificate from you either. You don't want a certificate from me, and neither do I want a certificate from you. But I will prove you wrong.
To the Union of India.
I will prove you wrong.
I'm telling you.
I will prove you wrong.
Disservice to the nation.
I will prove you wrong, and I will have to take you on, and therefore you respond.
I don't care.
Sir, you may not care, but I'll tell you. Sir, do you know a person called Omar Abdullah? Have you heard of a person called Omar Abdullah?
What are you saying? And please mind your language. When you talk about, he is Mr. Omar Abdullah, he is former Chief Minister of the state, and he is the working
I didn't call him anything.
National Conference.
I didn't call him anything.
No, don't say that, whether you know him or not. It is for you, whether you know him or not. Unfortunately,
sir, the problem is, sir, Mr. Wani, you know what? Those days are gone when journalists would say that the right honorable, elegant, excellency, former chief minister was zamana gaya, so I talked to him by first name. My point to you is Omar Abdullah. No, sir, Mr. Wani. Mr. Wani. Mr. Wani, आप मुझे इतना importance मत दीजिए. मैं आपको सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ. Ahead of the 2014 state elections, Omar Abdullah was blaming Gilani for the 2010 agitations and said that this man started the Quit Kashmir movement. I wish they would give peace a chance, but I know why people like Gilani will never...
But that far?
Why Gilani?
Because the current chief minister said the same thing, that they are the hate mongers.
Don't interrupt.
And that same chief minister went and sent an invite to him yesterday in a capacity as PDP. I would also like to...
Mr. Wani, now please just listen for a while. This is a very important point, because it is important for parties like you to not compromise national interest. If you at that time felt that Gilani was against peace...
We don't need lectures from you.
If at that point of time you felt Gilani was against peace, how can you say today that Gilani is the route to peace? If at that time you were against Yasin Malik because he shared the stage with Hafiz Saeed, how come you are for engagement with Hafiz Saeed now? If at that point of time in October 2010, Omar Abdullah... Allow me to complete.
Prime Minister of the country says that we need to...
Allow me to complete.
Are we here to find solution?
In 2010,
are we going to
in 2010,
the solution to the problem is only
in 2010
stakeholders that include separatists.
In 2010,
2010, Mr. Goswami. This is 2016.
Yeah, in 2010.
Now we are
in 2010, Omar Abdullah accused. In 2010, Omar Abdullah accused the chairman of the Hurriyat Conference, Mirwais Farooq, of betraying the trust by initiating violence in Srinagar in the name of carrying out a peaceful march. Today, you are for Mirwais. You can't do this. And when you're in power, you take a totally different position. For coming to power, how much will you compromise national interest? How can you compromise national interest just to come to power? How can you compromise national interest just to come to power?
The Prime Minister of the country wants to talk to everybody. Who are you to stop that?
You know, in 2012, Omar Abdullah attacked Gilani on his statements on Kashmiri Pandits.
No, sir,
now you want to engage with these people. Please understand. Sambit is countering. We're closing the debate after that. What's it?
Wants to sort it out permanently.
Mr. Wani,
he wants
Mr. Wani, please hear the other
Jammu and Kashmir to sort
participants
this issue out
also, I request you.
permanently. He says he's ready to
Mr. Wani, I
talk
wanted
to
to
all
answer you.
stakeholders in the state. And also, Mr. Patra,
Wani,
your classic. Mr. Patra, I want to say something to you. Mr. Patra, you just said that Mehbooba Mufti sent a letter only in her capacity as president of PDP. This is a classic case of hunting with a hound and running with a hare. You made sure that she writes letters as president of the PDP.
Sir, I have got your question. You should be democratic enough to allow your opponents to answer as well. You are a senior politician. Allow me to rebut you back. And listen to me. You just now called Mr. Goswami as part of problem. You called me also part of problem. Let you tell me who is the real part of problem. Who in fact is the real problem? Remember, I want to remind you of the tweet of
I didn't call you part of problem. You are a part of a coalition.
Burhan Wani was killed. National Conference leader Omar Abdullah, who you know, he tweeted that a new revolution will take place in Kashmir from the grave of Burhan Wani. That was a warning of our Indian leader. That was a warning of Omar Abdullah. And the subsequent tweets
you should have taken that warning seriously.
It would hang the heads of Indian citizens in shame. And let me tell you, it is better to
closing the debate
problem than to be part of the solution which favors Pakistan. It is better to be a part of problem that favors India than to be part of solution which favors Pakistan.
Instead of all this, why don't you issue a statement? Where is your statement?
Will not take us anywhere.
Where is your statement?
You are in coalition with PDP.
Who is tweeting rhetorics every night? Who is tweeting all these rhetorics? That a revolution would arise from the ashes of the grave of Burhan Wani.
How do you justify this, Mr. Patra?
How did you form government with Omar Abdullah then? Why you were sitting pretty with Omar Abdullah in 2001 too? Why were you party with Omar Abdullah?
सरकार बना के यहाँ आके चिल्लाते हैं रोज अजय आलोक go and rest it now.
Don't be hypocrite.
I know you are disturbed after what your leader has done.
Let's talk to the today's situation. Who is responsible for today's situation?
I don't want to even pick up a fight
Omar
with you,
Abdullah or Mehbooba Mufti?
Issue a statement that it was unofficial.
Who is responsible
Today your leader has shamed us.
Omar Abdullah
Sudheendra Kulkarni.
As to how he was returned.
Sudheendra Kulkarni, last word tonight.
Without a cup of
Sudheendra Kulkarni, last word tonight. Sudheendra Kulkarni. I see only two options now. No, I see only. I see. No. Ajay and Sambit. I see only two options now. Thank you for your cheery conversation.
Last time they offered me a black
okay, now I see only two. I see only one alternative now. Either the central government and the BJP comes out with a statement saying these leaders broke ranks, or these leaders come out and say that we had unofficial sanction. I think a clarification by tomorrow will have to come from either of the sides. Sudheendra Kulkarni, last word. This debate has gone on for an hour and a half. Sudheendra Kulkarni.
Be it Sharad Yadav, Sitaram Yechuri, they are all patriots. They have the good of the India at heart. Let's not insult them, because whatever they have done is in the national interest, and tomorrow I am sure that even the Prime Minister will invite all shades of opinion from Kashmir for talks. So therefore, let's let's not question anyone's patriotism or nationalism.
Nobody's.
If we want solution, we must respect dialogue and we must respect all.
Stakeholder.
Nobody's
we should all at least agree. Mr. Kulkarni, you are a senior person. I just want to ask
To the contrary.
Stakeholder has been used so frequently. Don't you believe only those are the stakeholders who believe at least in the Constitution of India?
Sambit, now since you let me have the last word on this. Sambit, let me have the. Sambit, one second. Nobody questions anyone's patriotism. However, the concern is for three reasons. One, they are very senior parliamentarians. Two, in their entirety, collectively, or as a group or in part, they represent the spirit of the Parliament of India. C, they know the background of these people and the sensitive situations more than others, and the links of the Hurriyat leaders with Pakistan more than others. And hence, if their actions have caused hurt among a section of people in this country, large or small, it is not something which can be discounted. I think Sushant Sareen wanted to respond to you because he's not going to let go without an equal counter to you. I give 30 seconds to Sushant and then I'm closing this.
Just 2 or 3 small points. I don't think there'll be any statement tomorrow. Partly because Arnab, I don't think there'll be any statement tomorrow. Partly because this was not an official negotiation process which was starting. This was just a political outreach. Number one. Number two, I think and this is the brighter side of the kind of sordid things which have happened today, which is that while you can't stop members of parliament who go as part of a delegation to go and meet whoever they want to meet, but the important thing is that all the clamour which was there by many of these parties that you make an outreach to the Hurriyat, I think the treatment today would have disabused them of the utility of reaching out to the Hurriyat. I think there will be greater realism on how you have to start tackling the situation in Kashmir, and that is the only bright spot today. I think what is important is that we have a greater sense of realism, and this kind of ivory towered kind of very philosophical takes, I don't think they work on the kind of situation which exists in Kashmir right now.
On that note,
I don't see.
Let's see what happens tomorrow.
But I think
I don't want to presume anything.
That we need to spin this around and show that these people are not interested in any negotiation.
Yeah, I think we stop wasting time with the Hurriyat and move on. There are other ways of building confidence and getting the situation on the ground back in control. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 1 and 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Thank you.